Greetings. In 1985, Broderbund released the game Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? You played as a rookie investigator on the hunt to track down the international spy Carmen Sandiego along with her henchmen, and you do this by solving clues and referring to your trusty world almanac. It was fun and you were learning stuff, trivial stuff, but stuff, and stuff is good. The game was a huge hit in classrooms and spawned all sorts of sequels and even a TV series. By the end of the 80s, over 1 million copies of the game had sold, and by the mid-90s that number shot up to 4 million, making it one of the best-selling computer games of all time. At least 20 different states had made formal requests for Broderbund to develop their own state-specific spin-offs of the game. In the end, however, only one such game was actually created, for the lucky folks of North Dakota. Yes, North Dakota, the Peace Garden state, home to lots of lakes and trees and wood chippers. Or is that Minnesota? In any event, the game was called Where in North Dakota is Carmen Sandiego, or Windix. It was developed for the state's Department of Education through a collaboration of Broderbund and a small team of educators. About 5,000 copies were produced, but as schools updated their computer labs, so went their old computers, and with them their floppy disks, making the game extremely rare. However, an even more obscure title is Where in Hell is Carmen Santiago by St. John M. Morrison. Here you're tasked with hunting down Carmen in the afterlife. Yeah, I don't think Broderbund formally recognizes this game as part of the series. Alright, so let's take a look at this game, starting with the packaging. So enclosed in this binder, you have a copy of the manual. There's also a North Dakota State Almanac on a floppy disk, and then the game itself on a double-sided floppy disk. This requires an Apple II with 64 kilobytes of memory. Now inside is various pieces of information, including some headshots of Carmen's gang, and should you capture all of them and Carmen, there's instructions to mail the description of the final scene to this address. Maybe you win a prize or something. There's also a paper version of the almanac, and that includes a really cool looking silhouette of Carmen, and a bunch of little pieces of information about the different cities, stuff like that. There's also a teacher's guide available. Now there's also a second binder that contains exercises that go along with 18 database disks which came with this package. Yes, 18 of them, 2 of which are double-sided. There's also a North Dakota Centennial Blue Book, and check out some of these sections, governors and first ladies. Hoo boy, fascinating stuff. So there you go, let's jump into some gameplay. So as you can see, the game was created in 1989, marking the 100th anniversary of the state. The structure in the middle is the Pioneer Family statue, which is a real-life statue that stands just in front of the North Dakota State Capitol. And with that, you've just learned your first trivial fact about North Dakota. Congratulations! Now if you've played other games in the series, the interface will be familiar to you. You start off at headquarters with the computer asking who you are. It'll recognize you if you have an existing profile, or you can start a new one. You'll also be assigned different ranks depending on how many cases you've solved. And then you'll get briefed on some crazy crime, such as a brown-eyed person posing as Lawrence Welk, who's been trading fake beaver furs. Hey, it's North Dakota. They don't bother with crimes like Grand Theft Auto. They just sell fake beaver furs. And actually, no joke, I think I know who committed the crime. So after given a tight deadline, you're off on your adventure. And from the main screen, you have 4 basic options. You can investigate the locals, you can add notes to your notebook, you can visit the crime lab, and you can go to the gas station, which is needed anytime you want to travel. The overall helpfulness of the locals does tend to vary, with some people giving you direct, simple answers, and then there's people like this guy. The culprit went to the town that was named after the captain who rode to his death with Custer. What does this guy think he's on Jeopardy or something? Who answers a detective with a damn riddle? And I know, he's giving me clues so that I can look up things and learn, but still. Now, anytime you actually get clues like this that are factual and personal to the suspect, you'll want to add them to your notebook. So we've previously learned that he has brown eyes, so I can update that detail, and now we know that he likes rodeos. And I don't know why I keep referring to them as he. Even though the eyewitness knows that they have brown eyes, they don't actually recall what sex the person was, which kind of makes me question the reliability of that witness, but whatever, it's a game. So let's head out to Fort Yates. Why Fort Yates? Because George Yates was the captain who was killed along Custer in the Battle of Little Bighorn. And you'd have known this if you had a North Dakota almanac or took 5 seconds to visit Wikipedia. Now you'll know you're on the right track because you'll get little cutscenes like this. Now does that guy strike you as a type to sell fake beaver fur? Chinchilla maybe, but not beaver. Now if you're in the wrong city, you'll be insulted or receive some lame jokes, usually involving wheat. Alright, let's head back to Fort Yates to see what these guys know. The imposter's hair was the color of a ripe wheat field. Wouldn't it be funny if North Dakotans really spoke that way? Like on their driver's license, it didn't say blonde, it said ripe wheat field. Moving along, once you arrive at the henchman's hideout, they'll start to attack you. So it's at this point that if you don't yet have a warrant, you'll want to skip town and return once you do. Otherwise, the final showdown is going to result in the suspect getting away, off to Montana or something. So what you'll want to do is go to the crime lab with enough evidence to identify the suspect and issue a warrant. This is also where you can go to save your in-progress cases. A high-speed chase ensues, rivaling any Hollywood blockbuster, with realistic sound effects. Even though those sound like British sirens and we're in North Dakota. But there is a feeling of satisfaction to be had when justice is finally served and the suspect is locked away. And that's the basic gist of the game. Capture all 15 of Carmen's henchmen and then Carmen herself. Now, although I've been to over 20 states, North Dakota is not among them, so some of the references are a bit foreign to me, but even so, I still think this was a pretty good game. In fact, a very good game. So go give it a try, and if you beat it, don't forget to mail in your results to win your prize. A bushel of wheat, perhaps? One can only hope. Thanks for watching.